Hello guys and welcome to this coding session. Today is about the convolution neural networks. We are going to see how does this CNN works, okay, and how it can learn, okay. So let's start. The first task is about the convolution forward propagation. Okay, so it's pretty simple here that knowing that you already done this in the previous project. So here we are going to write a function that will performs forward propagation over a convolution layer of a neural network. Here we have as arguments the A brave. So the A brave is the previous output or the output of the previous layer. Okay, W here is our filter or kernel. Okay, B is the bias. The activation is the activation function that we are going to use to activate the output of this layer. Padding is either same or valid, okay, indicating the type of the padding used, and we have the stride that will be the strides of the convolution. Okay, so let's start. So here is going to be exactly same thing as you did in the previous project, so it's not that hard. Let's start with the shapes. So here, first of all, let's start with the shape of the previous output of the previous layer. We have M as the number of images. We have H pref as the height of the previous output. W pref is the weight of the previous output. And then we have C pref as the number of channels of the last output. Okay, so these are the shape of a pref. Now for the kernel, we have kh as the height, kw as the weight. Cpref is the number of channels. So here we have the weight of the kernel is going to be the same as the output or the output of the previous layer. Okay, so we have the same number of channels here, and then we have say new, which is the number of filters used. So this is the shape of my W. After this, I have SH and SW as the strides that we are going to use for the convolution. Okay, now let's start. So here, if the padding equals to valid, in this case, PH and PW, the padding will be equals to 0. Okay, so there is no padding here. Okay, else we are going to have the same padding and we have some calculations to do for the pH and PW. So as you already know, the formula of pH is going to be np dot sale. So here we already done this and I show you how we can calculate this pH. So we can have the dimension of the output equals to the dimension of the input. Okay, so we have okay, let's put this later on. We have h brave minus 1 times sh plus kh minus hash brave. All this will be divided by 2. Okay, and we are going to take the np dot sale of this. Okay, and then let's make sure that this will be an integer. Okay, so the same thing will be for the weight. Okay guys, so this is in case we have the same valid. Now let's calculate the output of the dimension of my output. Okay, so OH will be the dimension of the height. Okay, so the height will be, the formula is going to be H brave plus 2 times pH minus KH. Okay, so all this will be divided by SH, and we are going to add plus 1. Okay, so the same thing is going to be for OW. So this is for the height, and this is for the weight. Okay, so I already explained in the previous live coding of the previous project how we can have this formula, okay, and how can we calculate these output dimensions, okay. So if you still have some issues with this, the videos of NG will be very helpful for you. Otherwise, you might ask questions anytime on Slack, okay. Okay, so the output dimension here will be this M is the number of images, okay, OH, OW, and CNU. So guys, I hope you don't have problems with this. How can we get this CNU here? In fact, this is the convolution that we have. For example, here we have the number of channels equals to 3. Okay, so here we have just one image. Okay, here we have the height. So here is the height breadth. Here is the weight breadth, and here is my C breadth. Okay, so C breadth here is equals to 3. Okay, and then I have these two features. Okay, so they have this KH, KW, and then we have this number 3 here is equals to the C pref. So the number of weight here is or should be equals to the number of weight here. Okay, sorry, the number of depth here is should be equal to the number of depth here. Okay, so the number of channels should be the same so that we can do this convolution. Okay, so if you have here 3, we should have here 3. And then I have two features, so the same new will be 2, equals to 2. Okay, so say new is the number of features or features that that I have. Okay, and then I have this convolution. So the convolution of my input here, of my image here, with the first feature will have as output this 2D matrix. Okay, it's going to be 4 by 4, so 4 is my OH and this 4 is my OW. Okay, and then the second convolution will have the same output size or dimension. Okay, and then we are going to just, let's say, to concatenate these two, and we will have as the number of depth here equals to 2, which is the number of features. Okay, so if you have two features, the output, the CNU will be 2. Okay, so this is how we get the convolution. We get finally OH, which is 4, OW 4, and the number of CNU is the number of features, which is 2. Okay, this is for just one image, but we have m images, so we are going to add here the number of images, which is m. Okay, so this is why we have the output dimension like this. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so now let's create this convolution or initialize this convolution. It's going to be, first of all, an NP zeros of the output dimension. Okay. So here we are going to add the padding part to the image. Okay, okay, so here I'm going to do this for both this valid or same. So if it is valid, is going to have pH and pW equals to 0, so nothing is going to change. And if it is same, so something is going to change here. Okay, so np.pad, my previous matrix is going to be a brave. Okay, then the padding weight would be okay, so I'm not going to add any padding for the first dimension, which is the number of images. Okay, now I'm going to add the padding for the height. For the weight. Okay, and now padding for the depth. Okay, now the mode will be constant because I'm going to add the constant value, and it's going to be by default 0. Now let's move on to the convolution part. So the first loop will be over the height. Okay, so here the OH, so the height of the my output here. The second will be for in range the weight. Okay, okay. Now let's define my steps. So here we have the slice. So we have to put x equals to I minus times sh, and y is going to be g times sw. Okay, so this is my steps that I'm going to move with. Okay, now I'm going to create my slice. Okay, my slice is over my my input. Okay, I'm going to call it M or slice A. Okay, so the slice will be moving in my padded images. I'm going to slice over all the images. Okay, and then from x until x plus kh. And then for the weight from y until y plus kh. Sorry, plus kw. And then I'm going to take all here all the weight, the depth. Okay, all the channels. Okay, so here I create my slice. Now I'm going to loop over the features. So let's call it f as feature or k as kernel. So for f in range, say new. So this is the number of features. The convolution will be conv of all the images, my the position of my I, okay, the position of G, and then the position of the feature. So this is how I can fill my my output. Okay, so here I am talking about this part here. Okay, so I'm looping over the features, and now for the first feature I am going to fill this position here. Okay, so this position is going to be here E, G, and F. Sorry, I, G, and F. Okay, now I'm using TensorDot like I explained in the previous live coding. Okay, it's going to be M and my feature. So I'm selecting here the feature. It's going to be this way. Okay, so here I'm taking all this together. Okay, for all the images, for all the width, all the height, all the width, and all the channels. Okay, this is my filter, and the axis is going to be here 3 because we have 3D matrix. Okay. Okay, so TensorDot will do for us, or TensorDot does for us this convolution. It's a simple way to do it. Okay, we can use the np.sum, but it's the same. I think this one is easier. Okay, and axis equals to 3 because here we have the filter is going to be a 3D filter, which is this one. Okay. Okay, so this is all this we already done in the previous tasks of the previous project. The new thing here is to add the activation part. Okay, so we have here our output, but we need to activate our output. Okay, as you already done in the first project, which is the neural network. Okay, so here we need to activate it. So I'm calling it A. A is activation. So activation here is the function that we are going to activate our layers with, and it's going to take the convolution, which is my matrix, plus the bias. Okay. Okay, and then I will return this A. Okay, so this is the only new things that we add here. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so here we create the filter, the B as the bias, and then my activation function will be review activation function, and then I did the convolution forward propagation. Okay, with padding equals to valid, and this is the result that I have, and this is the result of the intranet. Okay, so you have this image. The output shape will be 26, 26, 2. Okay, and this is my output. Okay, so this is after the forward propagation and the activation. Sorry. Okay, guys. Let's move on now to the second task, which is the pooling forward propagation. Okay, so now we have the pooling part. Okay, so we are going to create a function that will perform forward propagation over a pooling layer of a neural network. So here I have, as usual, my input as the previous output of the previous layer. Okay, my kernel shape. So here I just have the kernel shape, the stride, and the mode of the pooling is going to be max. Okay, so we are going to do the maximum pooling. Okay, let's start. I'm going to take the previous function and do some changes. Okay, so now I have here array will have the same shape. Okay, the kernel here, I don't have the W shape, but I have a tuple. So it's going to be and the kernel shape of 1. Okay, here I have the same thing for the stride. Okay, so now I don't have the padding. So here I will get rid of this. Okay, so here the number of depth is not going to change. Okay, because with the pooling part we are not going to reduce the depth of my image. Okay, The convolution will be here MP0, zeros of output dimension. It's going to be the same thing here. Okay, so now I'm going to move this. For I in range OH, for G in range OW, we have here the same thing for the steps part, and then my M will be here the A prep, sorry. Okay, so here we have the same thing. Okay, now here is the changement the change that we are going to do. Okay, so here here we are going to have either max pooling or average pooling. Okay, so it's going to indicate whether indicates whether they perform maximum or average pooling respectively. Okay, okay, let's start. So let's start with the max. So if mode equals to max, here the convolution of all the images of the position I, the position G, and all the channels is going to be the mp.max. So here we are going to use this function from NumPy. Okay, so it's going to makes thing easier. And the axis will be, we are going to take the maximum from these two dimensions. Okay, from the weight and height. Okay, so it's going to be 1 and 2 for the first and second dimensions. Okay, so here when I say first dimensions, I mean this one, okay, or this one, because we are starting, we start counting with 0. Okay, so this is for the max. Now, if my mode will be average, it's going to be the same thing with the function mean of NumPy. Okay, so I'm just going to put here else. It's going to be mean. Okay, and then I'm going to return my convolution. Let's try it. So this is my max pooling. So I'm taking the maximum of this slice, okay, and then the maximum of this slice, etc. And then here I'm just taking the average of this slice, etc. Okay. Okay, here I should put axis equals to. And then I have my output. Okay, so here we are using the mode max. Okay. So this is the output of the intranet, hopefully. Okay. Okay, so let's move now to the most important part, which is the backward propagation. Okay, or the back propagation. Okay, so then here we are going to create a function that will perform a back propagation over a convolution layer of a neural network. So here we have already the derivation of Z, which is the partial derivation or derivatives with respect to the unactivated output of the convolution layer. Okay, so here the derivation of Z will have the same shape as here my output that I have. Okay, so each derivative will conserve the shape. For example, here aprev is going to have this shape, so the derivation of aprev or aprev will have the same shape. Okay. Okay, now we are going to do this derivative, and then we are going to return the partial derivatives with respect to the previous layers. So we have dA, dW, and the bias dB, respectively. Let's start. Okay. Here I'm going to use or to take the first function because many things, sorry, here it turned A. Many things will remain same. Okay, okay, so the shapes. Okay, here we have M, hashbrev, the shape of dz. Okay. Okay, so the kernel will have, okay, so this will be the same. And then we have, if we have stride, if padding equals to valid, the pH and PW is going to be 0. Here it's going to be the same thing. Okay, so here we won't need this. Okay, because the output is dz. We already have this. Now we are using the padded images. Okay. I should now initialize the derivations that I'm going to calculate. Let's start. I'm going to call this, guys, a brave, so I can, it's going to facilitate for me the derivation later on. Okay, so let's start with this, with initializing the dimensions or the derivations that I'm going to do. So dw will be np dot like or zeros like. So here I'm going to fill a matrix with the same dimension as w with zeros. Okay. Okay, so this is just another way to do it. We just can do the np dot zeros of the dimension here of w, but this is the same thing. The aprev will have also the same shape as aprev. But here the dB is going to be okay, so here I'm going to explain for you how dB is going to be and how we can calculate the other derivatives. Okay, so here we are not going to initialize dB because it's going to be calculated directly. So to understand these derivations, I'm going to use to paint for you or to write for you how can you calculate this. Okay, okay, so here we have, this is so bad. We have here my input. Okay, so here is my A. So when I say A, I mean A pref. Okay, I'm going to do the convolution of this with, let's say here, two filters. Okay. This is the first one, and this is the second one. Okay, so we have the convolution of these two, and it's going to have as a result this output here. Okay, so this is the output. Okay, and Z is the convo here, I'm going to call it W, is the convolution of A. So here I'm noting this as convolution, okay? Convolve W plus B. Okay, so here I'm going to add a bias. So the bias is going to be added to each element in this output. Okay, so this is why we have here 1, 1, 1, and here the dimension of P. Okay, so this is why we have the 4 dimensions of P. Okay. Okay, so this is my Z. This is for the forward propagation. Now we are going to return to do the back propagation. Okay, so here we have to calculate, to do this and to update the weights, the dz, the dA is the dA pref, okay, dW, and dB. Okay, so when I say dz, I mean the derivation of the loss with respect to z. Okay, we have the loss, we are going to derivate the loss with respect to z. And when I say dA, I mean the derivation of of the loss, sorry, with respect to A. Here, the same thing, the derivation of the loss with respect to dW. And here is the derivation of the loss with respect to dB, to B. Okay, so we need this, as you already know, to update sorry, to update the weight function, okay, which is here. So W equals to W minus this derivation, or minus alpha and the derivation of dW. Okay. Okay. So here, hopefully, so here, fortunately, we have the dz. Okay, so dz already exists and we know it. Okay, so here we have dz. Let's call this dz. It's going to have the same shapes as this output. Okay, so this one is dz. So we already have dz, and we are going to move backwards. Okay, so the d loss of A with respect to A is going to be doing the chain rules. Okay, is going to be the d loss. So here we are going to intercalate the z of dz times gz with respect to dA. Okay, so here we put this dz here. Okay, so we already know this. This is my dz. And now I should calculate this one, dz with respect to A, so that I can have finally dA. Okay, I hope you understand me. Okay, so it's going to be dz times something. Okay, now let's calculate the derivation of this z with respect to dA. So as you know, the derivation of this with respect to A, it's going to be W. Okay, but here I have a convolution. It's not just a simple multiplication here. I have the convolution. Okay, so I have to get this with the convolution. Okay, so here we have dz. Here I have the convolution. I'm going to do the same thing here. So d loss with respect to z, which is dz. And then we have the derivation of z with respect to w, and it is A. But here it's not just a simple multiplication, it's going to be the convolution multiplication. Okay. Here also it's going to be dz times okay, so here I have the derivation of z with respect to b is going to be 1. Okay, so it's just going to be dz. Okay, but here as I need to respect the dimension, I need to do some summations over dz. Okay, so to sum up here, I have dw equals to dz times a, and db is dz. Okay, so here is the, let's say, the general formula of this derivation, but we need to have to do some other things here. Okay, so I'm going to delete this, and then I'm going to explain how we are going to do these multiplications. Okay. Okay, so how we have the backdrop. Okay, so these are the shapes, and now we are going to see how can we fill these matrices. Okay, Okay, so we have here the dz, so we already know the dz. Our function have the dz. Okay, let's try to fill now the dw. Okay, so as we know, the dw is going to be the multiplication of dz and dA. Okay, so now in the forward propagation, this was my A ref. Okay, what we did is that we take, sorry. So what I did here is that I took a slice. In the forward propagation, we took a slice of this matrix. Okay, so this was the slice that we take. For example, here we have 4 elements, okay, in this matrix, and what we did is that we multiply this slice with this first feature, and then we have all this matrix. Okay, so here we have the dimension equals to 2 because we have 2 features. Okay, so here we have these 2. Okay, so this is for the feature 1, and this is for the feature 2. Okay, so we multiply this slice with the first feature, okay, and we get this first element here. So this is the element that we have. Okay, so it's going to have here just an integer. Okay, so this is the convolution. We convolve this with this, we sum up all the elements, and we get this number here. Okay, so here it's just an integer. Now for the backward propagation, we have dw, so this is my w. Okay, so now I'm dealing with just one feature, and then I'm going to loop over the 2 features. So dw is going to be dz, so this is dz, times dA, which is this slice dA. Okay, sorry, times A, which is this slice of A. Okay, so here I'm dealing here with just A. So I have here the numbers, and I have here the numbers, and I'm going to fill my dw. Okay, so my dw is going to be this element times this one, and it's going to be f1, my dw here, dw1, let's say. Okay, and then I'm going to sum this. I'm going to move here with my strides. I will have the second slice. I'm going to multiply this second slice with this number. Okay, so this second number, and I'm going to sum this new, let's say, 3D matrix with the previous one. And then I'm going to move again and to multiply this with this one and add it to my feature here. Okay, so this is what I mean here by this convolution. Okay, so it's not just a simple multiplication. So this is a simple way to do this derivation, or to manipulate this derivation. We can do it just element per element, okay, and we will see. Okay, so now I fill this matrix. For the second matrix, it's going to be the same thing, but I'm dealing here with the points in the second depth. Okay, so for in this part of my cube. Okay, so it's going to be this integer times this part. It's going to fill this matrix plus the second slice times I'm going to move here, etc. and sum this, and I have my DW. Okay guys, so this is for derivation of DW. Let's move to the derivation too of DA. Now for the DA, it's going to be the same thing here. Okay, so we have here the DA, it's going to be DZ times, or here the convolution of W. Okay, so here I have my DA, my DA that I'm going to fill, and here I have my W. So I have the values of W. I'm going to fill DA, and I have DZ. Okay, so as I did previous, I'm going to fill slice by slice. Okay, and then just do here the slice, and then just moving here, etc. Okay, so I'm going to fill now this first slice. Okay, so the first slice will be as easy as this. I'm going to multiply the first DZ. So here I'm dealing with the first filter. Okay, so the first DZ here times the first filter is going to fill this one, this slice, plus here the second value for the first the second filter times this filter. Okay, so it's going to be this DZ1 times this filter plus here DZ2, let's call it, times the second filter. I'm going to sum both of these, and yeah, I'm going to have, or to fill my slice here. Then I'm going to move to take another slice, and then I'm going to move here for this new value of DZ, etc. Okay, so this is how I fill my DA, and this is how I fill my DW. Okay, knowing DZ. I hope this been clear. I'm going to try to code this now, and I hope that with the codes you feel like it's more clear. Okay, so let's start coding now. As I said here, for DB it's going to be the summation of DZ. Okay, so np.sum of DZ. So it's going to be, yes. Okay, so DZ, the axis is going to be the 3 axis. And here I need to keep my dimensions, because otherwise I will have some errors in the shapes, okay? So I need to add an extra dimensions here to have so I can not have problems with the dimensions, okay? Because here the B is going to have the shape 1 1 1 and sinew, okay? So here when I say the shape of B, I meant also the shape of DB, because the derivation and my original matrix should have the same shape, okay? So DB is easy. Now let's go through the other derivations. The first loop will be through the images. I'm going to call it image in range M. Okay, now I fixed my image that I'm going to work with. Okay, so here for the other loops, I'm going to loop through the height, the weight, and the sinew. Okay, the number of features, or the features. So here I can start with the features I meant to fix the features, or I can start with the height and the weight, and it's going to give me the same results. Okay, I'm going to fix by choice the height first. And then the weight. And then I'm going to fix my filter, okay? So for f in range senior. Okay, so here I really need this. It's not a good looking methods, let's say, but it's the only way to do this derivation. Okay, I need to go over all these dimensions. Okay, so here I fixed my image. Here I need to move or to go through all the height and the weight, because I need to move from a slice to another. Okay, and here I need to move from an element to another, so I need this. And here just to fix my features. Okay, so now I'm working with f as a feature. I'm going to select this feature. So the filter is going to be w with all the elements and this specific filter. Okay, so this is my filter. So now my f is this one. Sorry. Is this one. This is my f here, my filter here. Okay, now my dz, I'm going to specific an integer, okay, which is this one. I hope you see it. This one. Okay, so this one I'm just going to call it dz, and it's going to be dz of my image, my h to specific the height, my w, and my f to specific the weight. Okay, so here to say I'm in the first filter, here is my w. So in my example, w is going to be 0 because I'm in this position. My h is going to be 0 because I am in this position, and my f is going to be 0 also because I'm working with the first feature. Okay, so I'm here. I'm not here, but I'm here. Okay, so this is my dz, and it is an integer. Okay, now I'm going to slice my a. So I am calling it slice a, and I'm going to construct this slice. It's going to be upref of the image that I am on now. As we already did, it's going to be h as the step times sh. Okay, so from here until sh or h times sh plus kh. Okay, so in the previous task I called this x and y, but it's okay. Okay, so I just write it here as it is, and the same thing with the weight. So this is the slide that we already worked with. Okay, so now I defined my slice of A. So we need the slice of A to calculate dw. So dw here of all the images, of all the heights, of all the weight, and f. So here I am filling this one. Okay, so I'm filling this one. And it's going to be plus equals, like I said, this slice of A times dz, times the integer dz. Okay. Now dA, like I said also. So here dA, I'm going to fill it slice by slice. So I'm going to precise what slice I'm working with. So it's going to be this slice here. Okay. Plus equals dz, which is the integer times the feature, or the feature times dz. Okay. So this is exactly what I explained. Okay. Okay, that's it. That's it. I am now done with GA, GW, and GB. Okay. Okay. So one thing here that I need to do before I return this derivation, I need to move the padding. Okay. So the padding part needs to be removed, because here I will have some troubles in. So here we are dealing with just one layer. Okay, but if we don't get rid of the padding for DA, we are going to have some dimensions issues while backpropagating over all the layers. Okay, so here we need to make sure that we get rid of the padding part. So DA, here I'm going to take just the elements outside the padding. So I have all the images. Here I am going to take from pH, okay, until minus pH. Okay, and the same thing with the weight, pW, until minus pW. And then, and that's it, okay, and then all the depth. So this is how I get rid with the padding. And I'm going to return my DA, DW, and DB. Okay, guys. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to test this. Yes, sorry. Okay, let's try it. Let's calculate the convolution backward, the derivations. Okay, guys, here I meant DA pref, so I'm going to move this. So here, guys, I need to specify that I'm going to remove the padding if padding equals to same. Okay, so otherwise I will have some problems here if I put, just a second, otherwise I will have a problem if I have from 0, if I have the padding equals to valid, and I have the pH equals to pW equals to 0. I will have here from 0 to minus 0, and it's going to have some problems here. Okay, so the matrix will change. Okay, so here I need to do this just for the padding equals to same. Okay, guys, let's try this. And this is my my derivations. Okay, so this is the results of the intranet, and it seems to be the same thing.